It's Monday, so we're doing another snacking cake for the week. We're going to be using this maple sugar that I got from Michigan, and we'll be making a single layer maple pecan cake. Starting with the dry ingredients, we're going to start with 200 grams of flour, which is also about 1.5 cup. We're going to be adding in some baking powder, and then some salt. We're next working on the wet ingredients, so we have a stick of butter, and this is room temperature. I have some brown sugar, and then some maple syrup. Alright, we're next going to add in 2 eggs, and these are room temp. We're also going to add in a splash of vanilla. So we'll be adding pecans to the actual cake, so we're going to be toasting some. I have the oven set to 350, and these are just on some parchment paper, so they'll go in there for a little bit. So I want to add buttermilk to the cake batter, but I don't have any, so I have some milk and some vinegar here. And this is just half a cup of milk. We'll just be adding like a spoon of vinegar. And so after combining it, we'll just let it sit for a little bit. So now we'll be adding in our milk and our dry ingredients, but we'll be alternating between the two. So let's first start with my dry ingredients. And as we're alternating, to ensure I'm not over mixing, I like to keep a little bit of flour still remaining. Now we'll add in the milk. I'll now add in the toasted pecans. And now we can prepare our cake pan. Alright, so this is going to go in the oven until the cake tester comes out clean. Alright, so we're now going to work on the candied pecans. So I have some water here. So instead of using granulated sugar, we're going to be using the maple sugar. And so we're going to put this on the stove for a little bit, and then we're going to add the pecans, and we'll stir it until they're all coated. So this is how the mixture looks. So now we'll add our pecans. We're going to put it back on the stove. So the liquid dissolved, so now we can put these on the parchment paper. Here's how they turned out. Before we even want to use them though, we want to let them fully cool. Alright, so this has been in the oven for about 30 minutes, and using a cake tester, we can see that it comes out clean. So now we just want to let it cool for a little bit. Alright, so it's been about an hour, so we can finally take this out. Alright, so now we're going to work on a maple buttercream frosting. So we're starting with a stick of butter. And again, this is room temperature. So now that we've beaten it, we're going to add some powdered sugar. We're going to add in a pinch of salt, some maple syrup, and then a little vanilla. And as we're mixing it, if it's not the consistency we want, we'll just add like a splash of milk to it. And this is what it should look like. Alright, so now we can assemble everything. We have our cake layer here. So here's the overshot. Alright, so now we're finally going to cut this. And if you have any flavor recommendations or you want to see me try a specific kind, let me know. So here's the cut piece. We can see all the pecans in the batter. We have a nice layer of that frosting, and then we're topped with the candied pecans. So the cake is super moist, which is nice. I'm really happy that we toasted the pecans before. Even though it adds like 5 minutes, I think it's definitely worth it. So you can find the full recipe in my caption, but it'll also be in my free newsletter as well.